check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Alright, welcome back to another episode of the Young Guides podcast. In today's video, we'll be tying the WD-40 Nymph. It's a very easy, effective pattern to tie. It's great for imitating a variety of small aquatic insects like midges, mayflies, anything small. Today we're going to be tying this on a size 18 scud hook with a corresponding bead size. I'm not great on bead sizes, so I can't tell you what millimeter bead. This is a kind of a like a bronze colored bead, or excuse me, copper. This is a copper colored bead. I prefer like a copper or a silver over gold when it comes to beads of any kind, but especially in this one I like that kind of that copper or the silver bead. You can tie this bigger, you can tie this up to like a size 14 to imitate some of the larger mayflies or chironomids even, and you can tie this down like a size 22. And one of the nice things about this pattern is not only is it easy to tie, it's effective, it can be tied in a variety of sizes and colors. Whether that be in the colors of the thread or the tail fibers or the bead itself. And it can be tied with tungsten weights, it can be tied with brass, glass to cover a variety of sink rates. So this is a very great guide fly to imitate a variety of insects and a variety of water depths. So let's go ahead and get to it. It's a quick tie. So in this one I'm just going to do black. I got some black unithread. I'm going to start putting on my thread base right behind the bead, taking nice touching wraps. Normally I don't care about touching wraps, but in these smaller flies I do, just so that I'm not creating any areas of weird bulk or areas that are too thin. So I'm going to go down into the bend of the hook. I'm going to take a hackle fiber I had here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to strip off some of these fibers, probably a dozen or so there. I'm going to go ahead and just spin that in my finger so all those points are pointing in different directions. I'm going to lay that on top of the hook, capture that in with a couple soft wraps. I know I got a long tail, and I want this tail to be proportionate, maybe the length of the body of this fly. Something about like that. You don't want that tail to be too long. It's about the appropriate distance right there. Now I don't want to cut these the tail end of these fibers here, because if I do, it's going to create that weird lump, especially in a pattern where the only part of the body is thread. You're going to want to, tie these all the way up to behind the bead, so it's got a nice even taper. I'm going to trim that off. Now I'm going to go back over the hook here. I'm going to go back over this thread body I've already made down towards the fibers, and I want to make this kind of a nice evenly tapered body, tapered towards the front. Doesn't have to be perfect. You got a few little weird twists and turns in there, little bumps, it's okay. So that's my body. Now I'm just going to take some hairline dubbing in black. I'm going to go ahead and make a thorax, and again, with the different colors, you can imitate different kind of insects in different water. You can use olive, red, black, white, brown. You can tie this in a flash, kind of like a rainbow warrior or a lightning bug kind of style. It's a very easy, efficient pattern. This was one of my favorite guide patterns on the Yakima, especially in the fall and winter when the fish were keying in on smaller insects. Could be a bluewing, could have been a midge. It's a great trailing fly. So all you saw me do there was double a little bit of that dubbing onto the thread. It's a little dubbing noodle, and then I just wrapped it around a couple times, did a couple sets of whip finishes, and that is it. I'm just going to trim these up a little bit. You can leave these on here, these fibers, but I'm just going to trim it back. I'm got a little bushy. And that's that. That is the WD-40. Super easy, effective pattern. The best way that I found to fish this was when I had that brass bead, because it was heavy enough to get down, but since I was already going to fish this behind one or two other nymphs and a weight, I didn't want this to be a super heavy weight with a tungsten bead, because if it was, it would just be dragging bottom, whereas this is going to sit just a little bit above the bottom, and it's not going to get snagged on the rocks and hopefully not catch as many whitefish. Although this is a great whitefish pattern if you're looking to catch whitefish. They like stuff that's small and flashy. Thanks again for watching another fly tying tutorial on the Young Guides Podcast YouTube channel. It'd be great if you guys like this video, comment, tell us what you like about it, tell us what you didn't. If you want to see any other fly patterns in the future, let us know what you want to see. Go ahead and subscribe. We really appreciate that. And then check out the podcast either here on YouTube or pretty much wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. And go ahead and leave us a rating and review there. We'd really appreciate that. Lets us know that what we're doing, you guys are enjoying. You can also check us out on www.theyoungguidespodcast.com to learn more about Keaton and I, to see where we are at on social media, and to get to know our guests and where you guys can get yourself some discounts. Appreciate you guys watching. Have a good one.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.